Article 6. Common Provisions. Section 26. Confidentiality. At any stage of the investigation, prosecution and trial of an offense under this act, the rights of the victim and the accused who is minor shall be recognized. Section 27. Restraining Order. Where appropriate, the court, even before rendering a final decision, may issue an order directing the perpetrator to stay away from offended person at the distance specified by the court, or to stay away from the residence, school, place of employment, or any specified place frequented by the offended person. Section 28. Remedies and Psychological Counseling. A victim of gender-based threat, public spaces, or online sexual harassment may avail of appropriate remedies as provided for under the law, as well as psychological counseling services with the aid of LGU and the DSWD, in coordination with DOH and the PCW. Any fees to be charged in the course of a victim's availment as such remedies or psychological counseling services shall be borne by the perpetrator. Section 29. Administrative Sanction. Above penalties are without prejudice to any administrative sanction that may be imposed if the perpetrator is government employee. Section 30. Imposition of heavier penalties. Nothing in this act shall prevent LGUs from coming up with ordinances that impose heavier penalties for the acts specified herein. Section 31. Exemption. Acts that legitimate expression of indigenous culture and tradition, as well as breastfeeding in public, shall not be penalized. Article 7. Final Provisions. Section 32. P&P Women and Children's Desk. The Women and Children's Desk now existing in all police stations shall act and attend to all compliance covered under this act. They shall coordinate with ASHE, officer on the street, security guards in privately owned spaces open to the public, and anti-sexual harassment officer in government and private officer or schools in the enforcement of provision of this act. Section 33. Educational modules and awareness campaigns. The PCW shall take lead in the national campaign for the awareness of the law. The PCW shall work hand in hand with the DILG and duly accredited women's group to ensure all LGUs participants participate in a sustained information campaign, and the DICT to ensure an online campaign that reaches a wide audience of Filipino internet users. Campaign materials may include poster commending different forms of gender-based sexual harassment, informing the public of penalties for committing gender-based sexual harassment, and infographics of hotline numbers of authorities. All schools shall educate students from the elementary to tertiary level about the provision of this act and how they can report cases of gender-based threat, public spaces, and online sexual harassment committed against them. School courses shall include age-appropriate educational modules against gender-based threat, public spaces, and online sexual harassment, which shall be developed by DepEd, the CHED, the TESDA, and PCW. Section 34. Safety Audits. LGUs are required to conduct safety audits every 3 years to assess the efficiency and effectivity of implementation of this act within their jurisdiction. Such audits shall be multi-sectoral and participatory, with consultation undertaken with schools, police officer, and civil society organization. Section 35. Appropriation. Such amounts as may be necessary for implementation of this act shall be indicated under the Annual General Appropriation Act or GAA. National and local government agencies shall be authorized to utilize their mandatory Gender and Development or GDA budget as provided under Republic Act 9710, otherwise known as the Magna Carta of Women for this purpose. In addition, LGUs may also use their mandatory 20% allocation for their annual internal revenue allotments for local development projects and provided under Section 287 of Republic Act Number 7160, otherwise known as Local Government Code of 1991. Section 36. Prescripted period. Any action arising from the violation of any of the provision of this act shall prescribe as follows. Letter A. Offenses committed under Section 11 of this act shall prescribe in 1 year. Letter B. Offenses committed under Section 11 of this act shall prescribe in 3 years. Letter C. Offenses committed under Section 11 of this act shall prescribe in 10 years. Letter D. Offenses committed under Section 12 of this act shall be imprescriptible. And letter E. Offenses committed under Section 16 and 12 of this act shall prescribe in 5 years. Section 37. Joint Congressional Oversight Committee. There is hereby created a Joint Congressional Oversight Committee to monitor the implementation of this act and to review the implementing rules and regulation promulgated. The committee shall compose of 5 senators and 5 representatives to appointed by the Senate President and the Speaker of House of Representatives, respectively. The Oversight Committee shall be co-chaired by the Chairperson of the State Committee on Women, Children, Family Relation, and Gender Equality, and the House Committee of Women and Gender Equality. Section 38. Implementing Rules and Regulation, or IRR. Within 90 days from effectivity of this act, the PCW as a lead agency in coordination with the DILG, the DSWD, the PNP, the Commission of Human Rights or CHR, the DOH, the DOLE and the DepEd, the CHED, the DICT, the TESDA and the MMDA, the LTO, and at least 3 women organizations active on the issues of gender-based violence shall formulate the implementing rules and regulation or IRR of this act. Section 39. Separability Clause. If any provision of part hereof is held invalid or unconstitutional, the remaining provisions not affected thereby shall remain valid and subsisting. Section 40. Repealing clause. Any law, presidential decree or insurance, executive order, letter of instruction, administrative order, rule, or regulation contrary to or inconsistent with the provision of this act is hereby repealed, modified, or amended accordingly. Section 41. Effectivity. This act shall take effect 15 days after the publication of official gazette or any 2 newspaper of general circulation in the Philippines.